A sold-out crowd here at the Prudential Center and an 82-60 loss here for the Seton Hall Pirates against the number 16 Xavier Musketeers here at the Prudential Center. I'm John Makuch, joined alongside Judaea Ingram for our analysis post-game here on Pirate Television. And Judaea, Kadari Richmond being out for this game, definitely a big loss, but the Pirates still need some players to show up. But first, what with Kadari made this Pirate team not the Seton Hall Pirates that we're used to, because he's a big piece of this offense as well as a defensive guard that can guard all positions?
Just starting with the offense, you could tell there were some players that were just throwing up shots. There wasn't a lot of movement with the ball, not a lot of assists that were made this game. You could tell without Kadari, they just felt a little empty and felt a little lost with some players trying to step up, but it's a role that they're not usually filling. And with Kadari on defense, as you saw, this team scored 82 points this game. It seemed they were to get easy layup after easy layup, get a whole bunch of assists. So you definitely tell Kadari was missed this game, both offensively and defensively.
And what that did was put a lot of pressure on a guy, al-amir, who did not have the best shooting night today at the Prudential Center. Did that throw him off then, having to be in that big role? Because there's a lot of pressure. When your star really is out, your star guard is out, your main ball handler is out, it's tough to really figure out offense because you've been playing with this guy, Kadari Richmond. He's been the main ball handler. He's been the focus of the offense in terms of facilitating, and it put Dawes in a tough spot, and he wasn't able to do it today.
100%. Big lights once again against a top-ranked team. Everything's on you. It's a sold-out crowd. Everyone's looking at you, and it's really hard to go just one game, especially without playing with Kadari this whole time and knowing you have to fill in his spot both offensively and defensively. You could tell he was trying. He was putting up a lot of shots. They just did not fall in. So once again, it's kind of hard to, on the spot, having to take over, and it just wasn't for him this night.
And for Seton Hall, despite this tough loss, Jaquan Sanders emerged in a big way today. A double-digit score, knocked down some big threes today. And sometimes in these losses, a lot of the team, they'll give up. There's not a lot of fight left. But when you have a player like that, as a freshman as well, to be able to come in, understand the situation, know that his veterans, they're not having a great night. They're not feeling it. But Jaquan Sanders, he showed up today. How was he able to go ahead and do that?
Offensively, he was able to hit shots. I think for almost 4 of his shots, he went 100% from the field. He hit good shots, came off assist, and really came in, and he was ready to play. As Coach said, he was ready to play, ready to came in, and offensively, he kind of sparked it up. Even though it was a blowout, you could tell he never gave up. He always looked for a good shot, and he just played a really great game, especially for a freshman.
And we'll have to see if going forward through these next 2 games, they've got Villanova and Providence on the road to close out the season. Maybe Jaquan Sanders might be able to get some more playing time, because if you keep playing like this, Coach Holloway has talked about it a lot. If you play right, if you play well, he's going to put you in and he's going to play you. But for Xavier, number 16 team in the nation, I mean, they showed why that ranking tonight, and 16 again, like I said at halftime, might be a little bit too low based on what we saw today. How were they able to kind of go about that? I mean, Sully Boom had a great one. I believe he had 23 points, and Zach Fremantle being out is always a tough one. But they've learned how to play without him. The last time these two teams played, 73-70, a close, tight, contested game at the Cintas Center. I mean, Xavier came out with it feels like revenge almost to be able to come in their house like they did in that last game, but Seton Hall, they didn't do it again tonight. They didn't have a close game with Xavier. And how was Xavier able to go about showing up?
I would say it did feel a bunch like a revenge game, especially after going a really bad loss to Villanova in their last game. I believe they came in guns ablazing, shooting threes from everywhere, being able to shoot almost like 50% from 3, 40% from the field. And Sully Boone, who is averaging 16 points, scored 23 points today, shooting 5 of 7 from the three-point line and 8 of 12 from the field. And 4 players were in double digits. Even Kobe Jones had 19 points. So it seems they've really been able to come together with their offense even without their second best scorer, which is even more impressive, which is like number 16 seed without your best scorer, and you're still able to put up 82 points. I don't know what you can do. Xavier just played a better game than Seton Hall, and they just came out with an urge and a fire, and they were there the whole 40 minutes.
There were a lot of moments in this game where I just kind of said, what do you even do when you have a Sully Boom, Jack Nungy screen near the top of the key? That's what really kind of set this team apart. They just played a lot more fluid game of basketball today, and they've had a lot more chemistry. They've had a lot more consistent lineup, even with Fremantle out, but it's tough. And Seton Hall, they might see this team again. The Big East tournament, it's coming. Don't worry. The Big East tournament will come, and we're going to be covering that as well. But for the Seton Hall Pirates, their NCAA tournament chances in terms of getting an at-large bid has become bleaker and bleaker by the game. So, yes, Seton Hall at this point, they got to win out. They have to continue to win, and now it gets to a point where if they want to get into March Madness and not be in the NIT, they have to win the whole Big East tournament. I don't know if you agree with that. I don't know if maybe they could get in if they lose in the championship and have 20 games. That's a whole different story. But, what are your thoughts on kind of the Pirates' postseason opportunities that includes the Big East tournament? Because it's going to be a tough road. And Xavier, they're going to be on that road for sure.
I have to agree with you. They've lost 4 of their 5 games, and out of their 5 games, 3 of them were ranked teams in the Big East. And we're going to have to see them in the Big East, so they have to win out these last 2 games. And I think to get into the tournament, I believe you're going to have to at least get to the finals for the Big East. So they definitely will be seeing Xavier again, and I feel like that's the best way they have. Right now, their chances are getting slimmer and slimmer, so you just have to keep winning and winning. It's their best chance.
And the next game for the Seton Hall Pirates, it's senior night, Tuesday at 8:30. The Villanova Wildcats are coming to town, one of the greatest rivalries in college basketball, Judaea. What do the Seton Hall Pirates have to do to win that game? Obviously, not a lot of what they did today, but what do the Pirates have to clean up in order to win that game?
Chemistry, chemistry, chemistry. Especially if they're not going to play with Kadari Richmond that game, they have to be able to be with each other. Someone like Al being able to take that role, being more comfortable with one another, passing the ball, not just throwing up shots and make it one-on-ones every time. Talking on defense, not having another team score 80 points. Villanova probably feels really good after beating Xavier in an upset win. So they really have to come in and make sure they can hit their shots, making good shots, and also even hitting their free throws, which seems like they could just not hit on any part of the scoreboard. So chemistry is going to be a big part. Defense is going to be a big part. Hopefully having Dre Davis back, who actually was the leading scorer this game, we'll be able to kind of put them back together.
Well, that'll do it for us here at Pirate TV. The season's not over until it's over, so we'll see you Tuesday night for Villanova as well. I've been John Makuch, joined alongside Judaea Ingram. Judaea, thank you so much for joining me. And that will do it for Pirate Television.